Hey folks, welcome back to Abundant Life Homestead. We're here again at the 2025 Tri-State Antique Gas Engine and Tractor Association Show, better known as the Portland Tractor Engine Show. Still a couple days from the beginning of the show, and I figured today would be a great day to walk you through some of the feature tractors for this show, because this year's feature tractor is John Deere. So naturally there's a ton of John Deeres here, and there's no way we're going to get through all of them, but figure I might take you through a couple rows before those lanes get really busy and congested before the show starts. So let's have a look at some of the early arrival John Deeres for this year. Alright, let's take a look at some of these John Deere tractors before the crowds get here and it's hard to walk up and down these aisles. So here we got a 1963 John Deere Model 110, first year made. Fiberglass fenders, 3-speed, 7 horsepower Kohler motor and handmade deck. 1963 John Deere Model 80 trailer with a brass tag. And 1963 Sunco trailer used by dealers to deliver lawn equipment. That's kind of neat. John Deere B. If I were to like a John Deere, it would be the John Deere B. This is what I grew up learning to drive one of these. This says 1952 Model B, water pump, last year made, Lyons Farm. Here's an old one. What's that say on there? Model B. Okay, so this is the old Model B. Father-in-law has one of these. It's not on steel though. He's got it on rubber. It's being pulled by another John Deere Model B. This one I couldn't tell you what it is. Let me look up here. Doesn't say. It says John Deere, Moline, Illinois. If you're a fan of John Deere, you can tell me what it is. I don't know if there's not a plate on it. Had a lot of work done though. Looks good. And here's, looks like the same model, orchard tractor. And we got another one in yellow. Let's see if either of these says what they are. Nope. Ah, there we go. Model B1, this one says. And this one says Model B0. There we go. So this one is probably the same. Oh, Model BR. Okay. Now we know. I probably won't remember that tomorrow. This looks like another B with a wide front end. Model BW, it says. And regular unstyled Model B. Model HWH. Just looks to me like a B with a wide front end. It's a HWH. Well, I guess it couldn't be a B with a wide front end, because over there's a B with a wide front end. That's a lot bigger tractor. 1941 HWH. One of 133 built. Rick and Judy Sayre, Ridgeville, Indiana. Here's a bee with a wide front end. I'm not going to touch it, but look how beefy those axles are. That front end, a little overbuilt there, ain't it? This is 1948 BWH. Okay. So I don't know what the WH stands for. Maybe somebody can tell me. Owned by the same couple, Rick and Judy Sayer of Ridgeville, Indiana. And then following suit, we've got the AWH. 1949 AWH. Big old beefy front end there. And we keep going along the same lines, and we got a GW. 1953 GW. Same couple, Rick and Judy Sayer of Ridgeville, Indiana. This one's a 2520, John Deere 2520. 1969. Looks like same family, Sayer. There's a Model 60, says it's got power steering. That's a good sized tractor. There's a whole lot of weight in that thing. 1956 Model 60. And let's see who's just going to drive past us here in a second. Owned by Lester Dirksen. And just for the sake of things, I'm going to assume that's Lester driving it. 1952 Model 50 John Deere, owned by Kathy Hufford of Union City, Indiana. Most of my childhood was spent in Union City, Indiana. There's another Model 60. And Mark Miller. And a Model A. Old unstyled Model A. Didn't see anybody's name on that one. 730 diesel. It's a 1959 John Deere Model 730D. Gives the serial number. Says it has a pony to electric. Owned by Greg and Bessie Hummel of Portland, Indiana. Greg and Bessie Hummel. I know because, only really because the rest of the family knew him, but Greg Hummel passed away, and much of the family brings in his tractors still. A lot of his tractors he put duals on. If we get around to it this year, he had a Farmall Model A with duals on it. It was pretty cool. He put a lot of work and a lot of money into making some nice tractors. And here's a bench in memory of him. I didn't know him, but Lloyd and David did, so not much I know to tell you about him. 1959 John Deere Model 430S. Greg and Bessie Hummel. There's another one of his with the duals on it. A 1952 John Deere 60. Here's a 1953 Model 50. Still from Greg's collection. 1951 Model B. Still in the Hummel collection. This one's got it says Bumblebee Acres. And we got a 1939 Model H. Still from the one of Greg Hummel's tractors. (1941) John Deere Model LA. Those are some funny looking machines. Alright, looks like we're getting ready to get out of the Greg Hummel collection, although some of them back there might be his too. But being as how this is the largest tractor and engine show in the world, and John Deere is the feature this year, there's no way we're going to get to see all of them. But I'll show you as many as I can. John Deere G, the McLaughlin family, Portland, Indiana. Here's an old Model A. Don't see a name on it. Here's a D, John Deere D. This is another one of those that just looks like that's a whole lot of weight there. Wonder how much one of these things weighs. Another one of them funny looking LAs. This one's got a plow on it. I guess I haven't been looking behind any of these tractors, but that's a John Deere plow. And John Deere 112 with electric lift. Alright, let's cross the street here. Again, there's several hundred more John Deeres out that way. There's going to be tons of them out across this field. We'll see what we can get to this week. Flip around and start back on this side. 1948 John Deere M, shown in memory of Kevin McBarnes, owned by John and Uliza Cohn. John Deere L, shown in memory of Kevin McBarnes, owned by Pat and Deb Cohn. Guess one can only assume that this is a John Deere wagon. Doesn't have any kind of plate on it. There's a 46 LA, shown in memory of Kevin McBarnes, owned by Brad and Diane Schrock. (1938) Unstyled L, shown in memory of Kevin McBarnes, owned by Gentry Cohn. It's got a whole set of cultivators on it. (1951) John Deere B, owned by Logan McBarnes of Decatur, Indiana. Now this looks more like the one I grew up with. We didn't have no shiny paint on it. It was a working tractor. And we got another 1939 John Deere B, owned by Brian and Sherry Bickle, in memory of Keith Bickle. And we got a little John Deere here. I don't know what model it is. It says Kalen Alberson and Jackson Alberson. Bet you anything those are the kids. There's a 1938 B, owned by Anita Bear and family, Decatur, Indiana. Here we've got another D. (1942). It's either a 2 or an 8. I have a hard time telling what that says. We'll say it's a 2. 1942 John Deere D, owned by Mary Bickle and her girls, Portland, Indiana. And we have an R. That's another one. That's a whole lot of metal. I just gotta wonder how much that thing weighs. Big boy. Owned by Randy Bickle and family in Portland, Indiana.
Oh yeah, I'll look at it. We'll go back around.
There's another Model B, owned by David Weston of Muncie, Indiana. It's 1936. Muncie, my hometown. I'm up here between the trees. I have to step up here to see what model this is. It's a 1958. Yeah. It's a 1958 Model 630 with a, I'm assuming, Model 48 loader on the front. Yeah, 1954 Model 50 with power steering. Owned and restored by Ronnie Ireland of Montpelier, Indiana. Got a little John Deere Model 60 here. Don't see a plaque for an owner. A 1954 John Deere Model 50 with what looks to be a Model 45 trip bucket. And this is owned by Jim Braun of Coldwater, Ohio. A 1934 A, owned by Richard and Shirley Long of Dunkirk, Indiana. 3020. If I remember correctly, I think Lloyd used to own, my father-in-law owned a 3020. Says he wouldn't tell the family because, you know, we're a red family, but he wouldn't tell the family that he regrets selling it, but I think he regrets selling it. 1971 John Deere 3020, Joe and Karen Smith. Here's John Deere D. Doesn't have any plaque on it for a name. Now this is an interesting piece of machinery. I'm gonna have to back up a little bit. You can see that this is a sprayer, and it's got the arms that come out here. But you also notice, as I come back here, you also notice it's got a seat sitting backwards. And we get over here. And we got another seat facing backwards. This was a dual purpose. I don't know the model that's underneath that, but this was a dual purpose. They use that for spraying, and then the guys sitting backwards would be for detasseling corn. Probably used on a seed farm. But you don't see those too often. Like I said, I don't know what model is under there or what it came from, but you can see the belt driven pump down here. Looks like it doesn't have any belts on it right now. I imagine they don't actually do demonstrations with it. Kind of a rare one. Here we got a 1944A owned by Denny Sumwalt of Farmland, Indiana. Still hearing a whole lot of people unloading out here. Got a few more days before the show starts. Here's a 630 owned by the Carl Locker family of Portland, Indiana. There's a G with a cab and a wide front end. I wonder if that's what did we see just a little bit ago? A GHW with that big beefy front end. Probably a GHW with the cab on it. Kind of neat. Don't see a name on it though. There's a G with a tricycle front end. $620. Another wagon. $43.20 diesel. Nice sunshade roof up there. 1972, 4320 diesel synchro range, Lions Farm. And paired up with that, we got a 4020. Some 1972 4020 diesel power shift, Lions Farm. Before we get to where we can't see it, we got a John Deere trailer here. I don't know if that's I don't think it's a dump trailer. No, there's nothing to dump there. That's just a trailer. Coming up around the corner, we got a 3020. I'm gonna say this is probably Lions Farm. It's built up the same way as that 4020 was. (1972) 3020 diesel, Lions Farm. (2520) diesel. Again, built up the same way. Probably Lions Farm. 1970 2520 diesel power shift. 356 made. Lions Farm. Only 356. It's a pretty rare tractor then. Got some implements back here, a couple plows. Another 2520. This is a 69 model 2520 gas power shift. Only 122 made. What's the difference between those? I guess it's that 2520 is a diesel, that 2520 is a gas, and apparently the gas is a lot more rare. Alright, as you can see, the feature area, there's a whole lot more, hundreds more John Deeres right now, but tell you what, I'm getting a little unstable on my feet, so we're going to go back to the family area for a little bit. And we'll see what else we can look at later today. So I was going to go check out some engines, but not a whole lot of the gas engines running right now. You can hear just a couple of them moving. I think we'll save that for another day. And in the meantime, they got this area roped off, and they got the Indiana tractor. 1920 Indiana Model F. I don't believe I've ever seen an Indiana tractor. And we got another one over here. Staying out of the roped off area here. We won't get up there and invade if the owners don't want us to, but neat looking machine. I've never seen. Don't know anything about them. Other than that, those chain drive wheels look kind of interesting. Yep, the Indiana tractors. So then I got the bright idea, you know, there's 20 some acres that they call East End Sales, and that's a place I didn't even bother taking you last year, but I got the bright idea that, hey, you know, I could use a condenser tester. So went out into East End Sales looking for a condenser tester. Never found a condenser tester, but if you're interested in what kind of stuff you can find in the East End Sales, well, here you go. Alright, big part of tractor engine show every year, especially the early time, is East End Sales. I try to stay out of here because I end up buying stuff. But maybe we'll cruise around a while and see what we see. Yeah, let's just follow the arrow. Plenty of engines for sale. Probably every part you can imagine be found within this area. I don't know, I don't even want to guess, but I will, how much space this East End Sales takes up, but I'd say it's probably 20 acres or more. It's just never ending sales out there. Some nice restored engines, look like they're ready to go. Bunch of wheel horse tractors here. There's one of those areas where you don't even try to go see everything because it's just not possible out here. We're just going to touch the edges of it. Marvelous milking cow. That's awesome. As you'll probably hear everybody driving by, even with most of the vendors closed right now. This is still the busiest area of the show. A lot of people come here just for the sales. I can see why. But I don't see anything here that I just wouldn't live without. Neat old chainsaws. Some Cub Cadets for sale up here. I've got way too many Cub Cadets at home, especially the wide frames. I think I've mentioned before, I may bring them out and bring them out to this show just to sell them one year. Lots of tools. Coleman lanterns. If I didn't already have 5 lanterns in a burner, looks like this would be the place to grab up a new lantern. But yeah, I love Coleman lanterns, and I do have 5 plus a cooker, and I use them all. Oh. Pan around, we can see just more aisles and aisles and aisles, more tents and flags. This place is huge, huge if you like the sales. I'm probably going to be the most boring shopper you've ever watched on YouTube. Because unless I see something that just really gets me, I ain't gonna buy nothing. Actually, if I think about it, I've only got about $15 in my wallet. That's the best way to go shopping without any money.
How you doing?
All right, how are you? Little Coin Master metal detector for 25 bucks. Carbide lamp. That's kind of neat. Old Sears engine analyzer. That's something I would consider buying if I find one out here, and this may be the place to find it, is an old condenser tester. I would absolutely consider an old condenser tester. I was just talking about my old Coleman gas burner. Got one like this, but it's a model 502, a lot older than that one, I think. And that's one I use. Tools, some tractor parts, some bicycles, fishing stuff, a little bit of everything. A little bit of military surplus, old army rucksack. I don't want to carry one of those again. I did that. Talking about a condenser tester, there's a coil tester. I would most certainly keep that in mind. I don't need a coil tester. I do need a condenser tester though. Two kind of go hand in hand though when you're testing them. Closing up for the night?
Oh, yeah.
Head. All right. Cub Cadet 86 without an engine. I think that takes 8 horsepower. I don't remember now. I don't have an 86, nor do I have an original. There's a Cub Cadet original. Aisles and aisles, rows and rows. Whole lot of vendors out here. And so far, nothing I can't live without. Lots of steps.
Ricky's looking for you. I put $400 on your tires.
Thermal B hood here. Note that just for a record, in case David and Lloyd need a hood for the bee they're working on. Railroad lights, carts for hit and miss engines. Starting to quiet down for the night, ain't it? Yeah, let's look around this one more, and then that's probably about all my legs want to handle, even with this cane. Yeah, I'd be interested in having a hit and miss engine just for fun, but honestly, I don't know diddly squat about them. I bet you there's a guy here who does. We may go try to talk to him tomorrow. More oil lanterns and tools.
Yeah, I made first batch just coming up and back to the hotel. I got second batch. I still got one. We got that. I got plenty of reserve.
You know, like this here, at ag, you have to recharge the ag. You got to pull it out, and you got to retime it. I know there's a lot to do with ag. So I mean, so honestly, if I was in your shoes, I would look for like a silver for
A week would hurt.
there was a silver over here that was just but bad and that would be perfect.
And again, a whole lot that we won't even get to out there. Not today, anyway. We may come back to the east end a couple times this week, just to see what's going on. Couple more booths anyway. We can glance at everything as we're on our way back to the family area. Not much there caught my eye. Some parts and tools and no.
How you doing there?
All right, how are you?
Right.
I thought I was gonna walk around and get a little exercise, and then I got all the way out here and realized I walked too far.
Yeah.
I need one of them dang carts.
It took me 8 hours to pack my truck in Florida.
Yeah.
So I tell people it'll take me 8 hours to unpack it.
Yeah, all day job.
Trying to sort it.
We set up in one of the buildings up there, green building. We started at 9 o'clock this morning, and I made the old man go home at 4 and told him he'll still be here tomorrow. Yeah.
I got everything I got. It's heavy, but I sold enough. I got to make my room in there for my bed.
All right.
Sleeping in the White House.
Yeah.
Not with the Trump.
Your own White House.
Yeah.
Good moment for rest though. That breeze feels good.
Yeah. In Florida, now the sun was bright today. It was hot.
Yeah.
But in Florida, your shirt would have been wet, your pants would have been wet. It was just different kind of heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. But I'll have some more stuff out tomorrow. I gotta get up there and pick and choose and
Yeah.
keep the tables full.
That's the big thing. As long as you got enough to keep the tables full,
Yeah.
you can keep making some money.
Oh, I don't care if somebody wanted to buy me out. I'd go back to Florida.
Yeah.
Get another load. But I doubt, somebody. You never know.
You never know.
I've heard of stranger things,
Yeah. Well, good luck to you. I'll probably see you again this week.
What do y'all sell?
We sell mostly coins. Coins and silver. Yeah, that's why we're in a building. A little hard to leave.
What's silver half worth now?
A silver half, if you just go by melt value, the half is $13.76.
Okay.
You'll be lucky if you find anybody selling them under 17 right now, though. Yeah, I'm probably the most boring shopper that you've ever seen on YouTube. I don't get excited about a whole lot. I know there's very little that I can't live without, and didn't end up buying anything, but that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what goes on in the East End sales. It's a whole different side of this tractor show. Some people only come here. They live for the East End sales, you know. And I can see that. It's just as much as we live for the tractors, and we really get excited about the tractors. They get excited about the sales. So I thank you for hanging out with me today. Trying to get these videos out as best as I can. I don't have the signal here that I did last year. I don't know what happened. So getting them edited and getting them uploaded has really been a bear. I'm searching for a solution to that. Maybe by the end of the week, maybe by the time the show really kicks up, I'll be able to push them out faster the way I did last year, but we'll see. Either way, thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for paying attention. Until next time, keep on nourishing your dreams, cultivating your passions, embracing the beauty of God's creation. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. We'll see you then.